I am here and ready to stream. I'll just be checking everything is working at the moment. Oh, okay, that's looking a bit crap, that thing in the corner, isn't it? 1 second. No. That is not looking nicely. All right. Get that down there. That'll do. I reckon maybe I want these little things a bit more exaggerated. Bar height. No. Bar width. Bar spacing. I forget how to do all this. This may not be worth it. Bar height 100. That's looking a little bit more lively, isn't it? I wanted something in the corner that was doing my Oh, hello. Hello everyone. Jeez. What time is it there? It's 4 p.m. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to fine tune my spectralizer, the thing in the top right corner that is animating my voice, but I forgotten how to do it. I want it to be a little bit more lively, but honestly, it literally just doesn't matter. So I'll just stop. Let me just have a little look on my YouTube. So I'll just
Here
stop.
we go. I'm going to this
PC specs. Oh God, I don't know. They're good anyway. I'll tell you they're good. Wait, what does it give you? This PC on Windows 11. How do you look up your PC specs? Yeah. Switch handle is just unlearn econ. The economical unlearning. Yeah, I think it's just unlearn econ, the Twitch one. So I'm dual streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. WinKey. Yeah. So check the control panel. WinKey plus pause break key. Interesting. Right, I am actually just an idiot. Wait, tell me. Tell me what to do, chat. I literally need to be guided through this. Imagine that you're talking to a child about how to show you my PC specs. System information. Oh, that's it. Thank you. System information. Right, okay. Here you go. Its name, processor AMD Ryzen 5 5900X 12 core processor, 3700 megahertz, 24 logical processors, RAM 32. I think it's 4 times 8 megabyte RAMs. And is there anything about the graphics card here? Geez. Step 1: uninstall Windows 11. Yeah, you may be right. I honestly. What would you have instead of Windows 11? Would you have Windows 10? Because wasn't that just, I mean, they're all like, pick your poison. I don't ultimately, to do anything good, I'd probably need like Linux, but I'm unwilling to learn how to use that. Yeah, okay. Anyway, the computer's good. Let's get on with Linux. I know everybody's saying Linux. Try typing device manager. No way. Okay, so we've already done the looking at the computer now. We're all bored of it. Let's watch me fail horribly at Age of Empires 4 again. I have to make sure that my Right. Excellent, excellent. What's AOE4? Age of Empires 4. Stick with Windows. It mostly works. It mostly runs everything, and it's mostly inexpensive. Yeah, Tyrannius. That's basically my view. I'm just I don't know. I don't know. It's not quite bad enough to, you know, to replace, to put the effort in to replace. There's a very high fixed cost of replacing, isn't there? Right. Let's go to this campaign. So where are we? We're at the fall of Bayeux. Don't know how to say that. In Normandy, William the Conqueror's sons ignited a bitter feud over control of their empire. Yeah, so I think I started this one by accident when I was off streaming and then decided to restart it. So we'll just restart. Jeez, 104 people watching. This is actually quite scary now. I didn't dual stream before. I only did Twitch, and it was like 20. Which is great, but now I feel like I've got a much larger audience through YouTube. Also, I'm gonna have to probably pick someone to mod the YouTube. I mean, I've got auto mod, but as a socialist, you would have to run open source. That is actually a very good point, especially considering that Bill Gates and Microsoft represent and also directly are most of the things that are wrong with the internet, kind of the worst excesses of like intellectual property and capitalism. From all accounts, Bill Gates is a real interesting guy. I don't know I don't know what the algorithm won't allow me to say, but let's just leave it there. Was it the last AOE4 Headlight Diamonds? The last AOE4 video didn't get deleted. No, it should be on Twitch. It's not on YouTube, but you're a Twitch chatter, so it's just on my Twitch profile. I don't know. Hi Sheepyhead. Somebody asked me if what I think of Yanis Varoufakis before, and yeah, I actually get asked that quite a lot. But he is great. There's a really good video, I think, from about a year ago, 2021. He gave a talk on economic pluralism and capitalism, and it was just really good. Most lectures, like, I can't usually sit through a lecture on YouTube because, let's face it, lectures are boring. But Varoufakis is just such a good speaker, and he brings everything together. I basically agree with him on almost everything. I'm kind of like what he called, because he had that 2013 Guardian article where he called himself an erratic Marxist, where he was like, I am very socialist, but like, it seems like socialism isn't coming, so I basically have to become a reformist. Obviously, in his role when he was Greek finance minister, that was very much the case. He wasn't just going to implement socialism. And I think that's how a lot of socialists feel, to be honest. Like, you're kind of an erratic Marxist. A pragmatic Marxist is another way of putting it. Have you ever thought to collaborate with Well There's Your Problem? I don't know who Well There's Your Problem is, to be honest. I'll have to take a look. I've never seen them before. I try to keep up to date with YouTube, but it's obscene, isn't it? We're all just sock dems. Yeah, it does feel like that. Did you ever have a right wing phase? When I was younger, I wasn't really right wing. I'm not like, I feel like a lot of streamers, they'll be like, oh yeah, I fell down the alt right pipeline. Like, it wasn't like that for me at all. But I was very centrist. Like, I was, very much a kind of New Labour guy. I, was even a bit of a fan of David Cameron for a bit, who was the UK Prime Minister in 2010, by the way, for people who don't know, and a Conservative. I kind of do miss David Cameron relative to Boris Johnson, to be honest with you still, but yeah, I wasn't really properly right-wing, but I was definitely not a socialist, like not a leftist. I didn't, engage with either the social issues in terms of like things like issues like trans rights, for example, and racism, like I didn't really know very much about. I would have said, you know, racism is bad, but I wouldn't have gone much beyond that. And then on the economic side, I certainly wasn't looking for kind of collective ownership of the means of production. I was just kind of a reformist capitalist, you know, with regulations and maybe a bit more social spending and all the rest of it. So yeah, to answer your question, was I ever a right winger? No, but I certainly wasn't a leftist for a while. Well, There's Your Problem is an engineering podcast that looks at disasters and the preconditions from a leftist perspective. That does sound really interesting. That does sound really interesting. Engineering is like something that I might have gotten into at one point, but I just didn't because economics seemed more important at the time. But yeah, that sounds really good. Oh yeah, I forgot you were British. An unlikely whale. An unlikely whale. How how can you watch my videos and not realise that I'm British? Like, how can you forget that? Just would have thought that my accent was pretty clearly British. Like, it doesn't seem like something you can forget. I don't know. Do I sound American sometimes? I certainly hope not. A dozen different Linux distribution suggestions. I'm sure we can pick one, get it installed, get UE to learn how to get the stream going again in 20 minutes. Yeah, that would be fantastic. Let's you know, magnify my technical difficulties that I've had with these streams, and I'll reinstall Linux in front of you all. I don't know if that'll even keep streaming, and then yeah, we'll delay the whole thing. Well, hello everyone. There are certainly a lot of you. Yeah, well, there's your problem. I'm definitely gonna check that out. Instagram socialist. I'm not an Instagram socialist.
Had recaptured York
All
from
right.
the rebels. Now he wanted to teach them a lesson for defying him. He began a brutal campaign of destruction to crush any further resistance, known as the Harrying of the North. Villages and crops were destroyed. It is said 100,000 people were killed. With ruthless efficiency, William the Conqueror had secured obedience in his new kingdom. But it wasn't to last. It would be thrown into chaos by his own children.
So we are just continuing with this campaign. I'm still learning how to play. If you're expecting some kind of follow grubby level shit from me, then you're going to be sorely disappointed.
Him. King William II, known as William Rufus.
Also, my headphones are fucking
But
shit.
13 years into his
And
reign, disaster struck.
the woman keeps dropping out, which is really frustrating.
While out hunting,
And it doesn't matter that much.
he was killed. William's youngest brother took his place as King
So we're
Henry
going through
I.
British history here.
But there was a problem.
Henry the
At
First.
the time, Henry's elder brother, Robert, Duke of Normandy, had been on crusade. When he returned, he was furious that Henry had grabbed the throne. From Normandy, Robert attempted to invade England to claim the crown from his brother.
Yeah, Oliver Mathrani. I actually think my voice is better in real life than on scripted videos. I feel like I do a little bit of like a kind of,
you
know, the kind of newsreader,
he crossed the channel,
strange false accent
Normandy,
sometimes when I'm
intent on
doing my
undermining
scripts.
his
I'm
brother
trying to
Robert's
get
rule.
more like my natural demeanor
His
and
first
natural
target
voice, to be honest,
was
in my
Bayeux.
videos, if anything.
This rich and splendid city was one of
These
the
are
jewels
so
of
long.
Normandy.
Nobody cares that much about history. Come on.
Henry was to begin.
Any luck with the partnership program at Twitch? I'd love to subscribe. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I have absolutely no idea what's going on or what I'm doing. there is no partnership program for me at the moment. I haven't looked into it at all, but it sounds like something I probably should do. Yeah, their B-roll footage of England. Yeah, it's just like, look, I just want to like command some archers to kill some spearmen. That's literally it. Hello, Nella Possessed. Sea Crash. Okay, so before we start, I'm just going to answer Crash's question. No, it's not my first time streaming Rickety Cricket. It's my second. So, yeah. My boss at work told me there are some splendid econ faculties in the UK about history, philosophy of economic thought, political economy, as the stuff in Germany I've thus far seen seems to be mostly empirically oriented. Do you have recommendations if I want to do a PhD? So I think I do have recommendations. There's a great website called Promoting Economic Pluralism, which has like a kind of world map of master's degrees that are like pluralist and, open, and they do history and history of thought and all that kind of stuff. So check that out. It's just for masters, but obviously you can bet that if it's got a decent master's, it will probably have a decent PhD program. More specifically in the UK, Goldsmiths is worth a look. Kingston is worth a look. The University of West England, UE, Leeds, and where else have I missed? SOAS, of course, School of Oriental and African Studies. So those ones are worth a look. And also there's political economy departments, which are like not, straight economics and not mainstream economics, but you've got a lot of those. And for example, like there's one at Manchester. There's a good political economy group at Manchester, and there's quite a lot of political economy departments. So I would actually, doing what you're doing, either you go to one of those kind of more heterodox universities like Goldsmiths, SOAS, UE, or you go into actually what is formerly like philosophy or political economy, and you end up studying all those topics anyway, because economists don't really do it, right? But philosophers and political economists and politics departments are more likely. So if you can't find anything that's like straight economics, then I would go for for basically an adjacent discipline that might be worthwhile. So Manchester, Nessie Andrew, Manchester political economy department, not the economics department. LSE, Govindu Rajat. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not even going to try and say that name again because it's actually verging on offensive. But so LSE. So is that is there a political economy department, a good political economy department at LSE? Sheffield, yeah, Sheffield's a good one. Yeah. Crash, yeah. Sheffield's a very good, pluralist department, Mr. Soup, you're right. Okay, D&D Total Improv, right, so I'll have to get a certain amount of viewers. You ever watched the Nordic model? You know what, I know, I forget his actual name, but his Twitter handle's Chad Not Chud. I think he's a patron of mine. And I'm going to go on that podcast. I haven't watched any. I want to watch them before I actually go on it, to see what they're about. I mean, I can guess I can guess just from seeing the title and knowing like what their views are. But I need to have a look at it because it seems like a good podcast. So, right. Let's start this. Will I make a video on UBI? Yes, something like that.
King Henry I set out to make an example of Bayeux, a town still loyal to his brother Duke Robert.
Right, do I remember how to play this game? Did I know how to play it in the first place?
Henry's archers took up position on high ground outside the city and faced an immediate attack by Robert's cavalry patrol.
Oh, come on.
Having deployed their palings, Henry's archers were well protected against the cavalry charge. They defeated the first patrol.
Right, okay. So they're coming. Do I need to? I want to stay at the top, really. Right, okay. And you. Right, okay. Might just turn that down a little bit.
As Henry set his sights on burning Bayeux, more reinforcements arrived to join his army.
So, control +09. Oh, 0 to 9. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I know how to do that. Objective complete. Group only. Your longbowman. Okay. Thoughts on Pierre Sraffa? He was just a genius. I don't know his works very closely, but what I do know. Oh, it shouldn't have the horsemen separate, should I? Right. Okay. Am I just waiting for them to attack me? Okay. That was really stupid what I just did then. They were taking too long. I mean, we're still winning, you know, obviously. So I've got about 5 times as many units as them. Group only your spearmen. Where are my spearmen? Right, okay. There you go. So, yeah, Pierre Sraffa, like, such interesting work. I just think that... I mean, he was obviously influenced by Ricardo and the other classical economists, but he did basically just come up with a whole new way of doing economic theory by himself, which didn't use like demand and supply and the kind of traditional ways of doing things. He was, a real asset to the heterodox community. I mean, I'd like to know more about his work. It is a little bit abstract for me, like it's a little bit theoretical, Pierre Sraffa's work, but it's, you know, it's just, it really is incredible. I think it was he was involved in a lot of very important debates. Right, I'm giving my my people like multiple, so you can give them multiple groupings in this. That's really interesting. So you can have, that's quite cool actually, because I think in AOE2 it would have like replaced, it would have replaced it. Right, what are you all doing? Come on, don't do nothing. Okay. Is it worth studying standard economics so you can critique it knowledgeably? Yes, I think so, but you have to, I mean, you know, it's all about how, you know, how you feel about it, to be honest. Like, if it is destroying your soul, then don't do it. You know, but if you can stand it, I think so. And, you know, there's, increasingly, there is some good in, why are they getting closer? They don't need to get closer. They were already killing that. Okay. Get over here. Right, so they're just patrolling. I mean, they look pretty crap, to be honest, don't they? Right, yeah, you want to attack them from that hill, for sure. But can I make them... Yes. So they've got this place, palings thing. Oh, okay. Don't do that. You're running in a really stupid direction. Right, okay. Get back. Yeah. No. Don't stop getting hit.
And a defensible location to construct it.
Capture the forest village. Oh, okay, right, okay. So yeah, we can't just go in and attack. We can't just go in and attack like that. That's very silly. A little bit bad for all these villagers. Oh, here we go. Come on, get back. Too late. Why were you standing so far out? Honestly. So William, is this Henry? Henry the First has some kind of armor ability. Don't chase him, for God's sake. Right, okay. Everyone's just going together. This is a pretty simple village destruction job. God, you know, sometimes I just completely... Where should I start with, Henry George? I'll tell you what I'm going to tell you to read. I must confess I've never made it all the way through Progress and Poverty, which is widely considered to be Henry George's magnum opus. I found it a little bit tedious. I mean, it was the 19th century, you know, people talked a lot, but I would start with, there's actually a blog on Slate Star Codex, you know, Scott Alexander. Oh, there's a river. Okay, can I get around it here without getting attacked by the wall? Possibly not. Right, okay, so we're just going to have to go and get attacked by the wall. Yeah, on Slate Star Codex, which is Scott Alexander's blog, which is a weird place to find it, but there was such a good introduction to Henry George's thought on that, and it's like a 90-minute read, you know, it's like, it's long. But have I got any more reinforcements? But it's just so good. So yes, search the, I think it's called Astral Star Codex now, Scott Alexander's blog, but it's like a guest post by somebody who's just read all of Henry George's works and just introduces it. Absolutely brilliant. What's the best introductory text for Piero Sraffa? Jeez, that is a very good question. I actually don't know. His actual book, Productions of Commodities by Means of Commodities, is like... okay, right, do your special power, Henry. Is actually like... quite opaque and obtuse almost. If you don't know what he's getting at, you just be like, oh, what's that? He's just solved a bunch of matrix algebra. You'd be like, what the hell's going on? But, I mean, I would search, like, Cambridge... right, you guys just get them. You focus on the houses. So I would search, like, Cambridge... Well, that was easy. Right, okay, so now...
Henry
Okay.
now called for the services of a blacksmith to bolster the siege effort.
Right, okay, so build a blacksmith then. Yeah, search like those Cambridge books or Oxford books, like they're usually like £100 to buy. But yeah, I would search like within those publishers, like Oxford Publishing and Cambridge Publishing, just search literally like the name Piero Sraffa, and you will find like a really good review by like a good historian of thought like Mark Blog or someone like that.
With a blacksmith on hand, Henry's infantry would soon be ready to construct siege equipment.
Siege equipment. Siege engineering. Right, here we go. Okay, so this is why we're doing it. This is why we're doing it. I guess we're going to need a lot of wood if we're building siege stuff, so I'll put all these lot on wood. Maybe I should get a couple more farms as well. You want to build some peasants? Okay, let's build some peasants. Somebody said, given you've described yourself as a pluralist, do you think Austrian and Chicago style economics provides some valuable insights? And if so, what are some of their biggest flaws as well? Love the channel. Thank you. That is a very big question. The short answer is yes. I actually do like aspects of Austrian economics. I like people like George Selgin and Larry White. When they talk about the history of like private banking, I just think that's really interesting stuff. I have some agreements with them over their criticisms of central banks. I think there's some interesting stuff from Ludwig Lachmann on like capital structure. Israel Kerzner has some interesting stuff on uncertainty. I'm not sure you'd call him an Austrian exactly, but you know he's Austrian adjacent at least. Okay, so we've got siege engineering.
Battering rams, siege weapons designed to break open fortress walls.
I'm less sympathetic to so you have to use the infantry to construct the... That's quite cool. Siege tower. Can I... Oh, it just wants me to make rams for now. I'm less sympathetic to Chicago economics, you know. At least Chicago economics of the past, because I do think that it's been quite harmful. And, I mean, can I... It depends what you mean by Chicago economics, right? I mean, Richard Thaler, the behavioural economist, is in Chicago now. And obviously he's great. So I think Chicago itself has kind of evolved as they've realised the limitations of their previous iteration of Chicago economics. But substantively, anything from that tradition, I'm pretty critical of. Not a massive fan their approach
With
to
the power of
monopoly. I'm
battering
not a
rams,
massive fan of their
the
approach
English
to
army could
monetary
crack open
policy.
Bayer's mighty walls.
You know, monetarism I think was bad. Didn't work. Yeah. So I can defend the Austrians. I have a harder time defending the Chicagoans. Breach the walls. Right. Am I going to build some barracks? Right. Yes, obviously. But just give me... Right. Okay, okay. Come on. Do we reckon we can do this with... But why are they moving so slowly? So, do I just send the battering rams? Right, okay. I guess I need to... Oh, okay, yes. That's it, that's it. I may have got into... What are you doing? I just told you to attack. Reauthor names in a minute. Yeah, sorry, everybody who isn't familiar with like economics and heterodox economics, the chat has been quite techie, a lot of economist names, so I'm sorry about that. You know, we can talk about stuff that doesn't require kind of knowing loads of heterodox economists as well.
Men could now storm the city. Robert's garrison made a last stand to defend Bayeux, but Henry would show no mercy.
Henry would show no mercy.
Burning their city.
I mean, okay, it's a bit of an exaggeration. Okay, I need to learn how to manage my villages a bit better because I'm just leaving them. Right, let's get an archery range in as well. From what I remember, the horses are a bit crap for these campaigns, so I just built two. Are there actually like shortcuts here? Because I feel like, oh jeez, I'm actually right. Battering rams, come on, you've done your job. Go back, go back. Right. I think I need to split my army up a bit more because it's just like there's too many people just getting in each other's way. Right, you're one. And you are two. And some of you are both 1 and 2, so that's not going to work very well. Come on, get those guys on the top. Injured leader. Where's he gone? Right, get these swordsmen in here because they're going to... We're going to need more farms, I reckon. Come on. Right, just put them over here. Jeez, okay, I've built a lot of villages. We need more, let's build a lumber camp here. Probably need more on wood. Any more on gold? Probably not. I've found playing this game, only a little bit admittedly, that food... What are you doing? Come on. Injured leader, what do I need to do with him? Oh, they all need to tend to him, I remember this now. I found that you... Hell, what are you doing? It's annoying when they stand, like, they insist on standing just within range of, like, somebody while they're attacking a building. Right, okay, we got more, boys, come on, come on. Who's done any recommendations for someone who's done a, if you hold the shift key, you can queue up multiple commands. Oh. Okay, that's something I need to master. I know my forces are under attack. Right, okay. Here we go. Yeah, so any recommendations for someone who's done a decent Econ 101 class, college class, but nothing else? If you're talking kind of outside formal education, I think I would probably, I mean, I'm presuming you're coming at this from a kind of, you know, an unlearning type perspective. As in, you want to be kind of critical of mainstream economics. So I would just read some books and you know, things like people like Ha-Joon Chang, who I really like. I think he's a good communicator. And that'll be very critical of what you've learned in Econ 101. People like... as well as you can read like the other side, you know, Tim Harford, the undercover economist, Freakonomics, you know, those types of things. I think it's nice to see economics communicated in an accessible way and get some key ideas. even if, you know, with these pop books, you do take it with a bit of a pinch of salt. Right, I'm not building. What am I doing? I'm not building any of these back. Right, I need some spit. Come on, more. I could actually build a. Okay, I could build a couple of horse things. Actually, now because I've just got enough. Oh, here we go. A horse thing, a stable. I think it's referred to as. So yeah, so that would be my advice. Just read books and like find blogs by economists. You know, they're not as popular as they used to be, the economics blogosphere, but you've got like the Conversible Economist. You've got people like John Cochrane, who I really don't like, but it's worth, you know, getting to know what he thinks. You've got people like Matt Brunig. He's not an economist, but he's quite like economicsy. You know, just go on Econ Twitter, #Econ Twitter. There's actually a newsletter you can subscribe to that will kind of keep you up to date with like latest papers and conversations that are going on in the discipline. You know, you know, don't expect to understand everything straight away. Don't beat yourself up if you're like, oh, what the fuck is anybody talking about? You know, you got to ease yourself into it, because, you know, there are still things that I read where I'm like, okay, I didn't understand half of that, but it's just a continual learning process, right? So yeah, just engage with something and don't worry if you're not 100% on all of it. I mean, I should really change their waypoints to be like more within. What? Don't just attack the house. Don't just attack that. See, he's just standing there, getting hit by one fucking arrow. I mean, obviously, what I should do is this. Or is it a person, or is it a? Oh, it's the town centre. Destroy the buildings, destroy the defenders. Right, come on. Switch your attention. Stand over here, out of range of the town hall. Get those archers. They're really annoying me. Jeez. Right, okay, come on. Right, let's. Oh, we're low on food now. Okay. Right, make a farm then. I feel like my farm placement is just absolutely dreadful. Oh, where's my mill? Oh, it's there. Right, okay. Come on, more. I guess that does count as a building, like, presumably once I've destroyed a certain number of buildings. Or does it mean a specific one? The Bayou. King Henry has been injured. Right, no, okay, so that's useless destroying them. Come on. Injured leader. Well, he needs to just stop running off like that, doesn't he? And we all have to go and get him. Classic king. Right. Okay, come on. Okay. So, yeah. We've got more. They kind of lose focus, your troops. They don't. I feel like it's quite difficult to get them focused on a battle, like they'll just start attacking whatever's nearest to them. I'm not sure, I'm not familiar with it. Right, go straight through. Screen title, Unlearning Economics Commits War Crimes. Should he? It is, I don't know. Oh, computer games are fine, but like... I do sometimes have some lingering doubts about like them desensitizing me to this type of thing. Right, okay, what, does he just want me to go there? Or does he just want me to destroy the town centre? Right, horsemen, go by yourselves. And you, Henry, come on. Right, I mean, he's just obviously trapped. I feel like if I destroy this, I'm going to win. Why learn, how do we get this on Twitch? It's just... Twitch. I don't know if this is going to... Twitch handle @unlearnecon. I think. Yeah. Economics in One Lesson by Henry Hazlitt. Now there is a ridiculous book. I mean, people always talk about Thomas Sowell. I feel like Thomas Sowell's a bit more of a presence on YouTube. But outside of YouTube, like Henry Hazlitt, his book is just so ubiquitous among like Austrian types and like, you know, vulgar Austrian types, like the internet Austrian types who just like, you know, you cannot disobey the laws of economics and, you know, all this kind of stupid stuff that you always hear. That always comes from like either Thomas Sowell or Henry Hazlitt, but yeah, in the blogosphere it was Henry Hazlitt, whereas on YouTube it's more Thomas Sowell. But that Economics in One Lesson book is just so cool. There's a book response to it actually called Economics in Two Lessons by John Quiggin. Which, what are you doing? Get over there, get over there. Which I haven't read that, but it is something I'd like to talk about on my channel, like, because like I said before, I have some time for Austrian economics, you know. I think there's some interesting ideas in there. But the type you get on the internet, Economics in One Lesson, you know, like, the idea that economics is just a set of inviolable laws, and especially if you're left wing, like you're going against the laws of economics. It's just like, it's an excuse not to think. Just allowing all of my soldiers to die. Right, we're gonna take down this castle now. Right, you lot just heal here. Right, good. Yeah, really harmful. Just poisons the minds of 14-year-olds on YouTube who think they've uncovered all of the secrets to the world. Stop getting injured, Henry. Right, he's actually winding me up now. I'm just going to take it. Oh, I can't even take him out of the theatre of conflict. Right, okay. My army's actually looking a little bit thin now. Okay, but that works. That is good. It's because the castle's taking them out. Really, I should be microing a bit better. Right, okay. I feel like my attack stalled a little bit. I'm going to... Go on, get them all. Right, I'm going to go and heal him, and I'm going to regroup. It is just generally like just wanting me to... But you can make them not move, can't you? He's down again! He's down again! Henry. You are an idiot. Right, we might have to do some upgrading with the blacksmiths, I reckon, because increases melee armor. Right, that'll do, and we'll put that one on as well, because they're just getting absolutely torn apart by those castles. Yeah. Move archers out of castle range. That would be sensible. If I were good at this game, then that's what I would have done a while ago. Battering ram for the buildings. Of course, battering ram for the buildings. That's a very obvious thing, which I've just been allowing my battering rams to stand there. What are you doing? Oh, probably because I've ordered my horses to go to the wrong place. Right, here we go. It's all kicking off now. Right, you come up from behind. Right, get over there. Right, get my battering rams over here. So they just kind of keep coming. That's the problem. I had this problem last time when my attack kind of stalled, and they keep spawning. I mean, obviously these horsemen are going to die. Yeah. Right. Okay. So what's happened here is I've set a ridiculous waypoint for my horsemen, and now they're kind of getting fucked up. Right, here, and here. Right, more archers. I reckon archers are actually the best. I'm not sure about these swordsmen. Where's my other barracks? Right, I reckon actually maybe even more villagers and more food. What are you doing? Stop allowing him to shoot you. That's ridiculous. They have driven me back a little bit. This is a pretty good game, isn't it? It's quite, the combat's actually quite interactive and immersive. You know, like, compared to AOE2, which is obviously very old, but they've done a good job of upgrading it.
Each timber fails.
Right, so get over here, get over here. Right, go and heal this. Well, are there any econ books you'd recommend for studying complexity theory? Interesting. There's a kind of report slash prolonged paper called the Atlas of Economic Complexity by Ricardo Hausmann, who it's an really interesting way of studying growth, and they look at like how what are you doing? Oh, okay, they're just going that way. They look at how the complexity of an economy determines its growth rate, and they have some really interesting ideas in there. So there's that. There's Alan Kerman, who's like the don of complexity theory. Alan Kerman is amazing. So anything by him, and also Jason Hotz, I think. Oh no, that's not. Sorry, that's called The New Evolutionary Microeconomics. That book, but it's evolutionary complexity. All these buzzwords that people throw around, they're all related, right? So that might be worth a look as well. Right, just can't get quite enough food. But where are my battering rams? Why are they going? What are they doing? I'm literally telling them to go here. Jesus Christ. Right, okay. I actually don't understand what they're doing. If you tell them to move, why do they start attacking stuff while then? Is that... Oh, they actually can't get through. Well, then go this way where we... Oh, maybe there's not a big enough hole. Okay. I see what I've done. Let's see if I can build some... This base is absolute chaos. When I normally build my bases from scratch, they're like really OCD. But this is just horrible to look at. I don't want to spend too much time looking at it. Right, we've upgraded the blacksmith. A few more archers. Let's get some swordsmen in as well. We'll give them a chance to prove themselves again. Stop attacking buildings randomly. So right. And these guys are over here. These guys over here. Right. 1, 2, 3. I really need to just wait for the... No, stop it. Why are they doing that? So, are the archers... The castle range is higher than the archer range, right? Somebody told me to put, Somebody told me to put the archers on the castle, but I feel like they'll just get mowed down too quickly. Let's put another lumber camp here. Can you do a backflip on a trampoline? I most certainly cannot do a backflip on a trampoline, Romansky. Yes, they can get in. Now, I've destroyed the wall, Andrea Airlines. Don't worry. We're on it. Right, okay. I feel like we're going to make quick work of this now. Just basically didn't have a strategy. It was just like chucking people at it. Right, get back. Stop getting distracted. Oh my god, he dies so quickly. What are you doing? Jesus Christ. That is unbelievable. What are you doing? Right. Get over there. I feel like I might have to build another battering ram. Oh, there we go. Right, it's literally just a matter of destroying more stuff.
As Bayeux burned and the people fled in terror, King Henry basked
I
in the
prefer
heat
unlearning
of
to
his
Mr.
brother
Economics. Mr. Economics sounds
But Henry would not stop
almost
until
a little bit
all of
seedy.
Normandy was back under the English crown.
I'm not sure if that's just me. Yes, we did it. We did the very easy early game campaign. Well done, everyone. Chase the Lux. Have you read Graeber's Against Economics? Yes, I have. I like that post. I think it's one that I think a lot of economists would not listen to, but I think they should. I think it's really good. And he had some posts around that time, Graeber, about economics, which he was just an interesting guy. He would have interesting opinions on any topic, I think. Econoboy combo. Yeah, I'll speak to Econoboy. He might appear in the chat at some point. Yeah, I don't know. I've only just got into this streaming thing, and I have like another job, and I just sometimes go outside, and it's just been difficult to try and get conversations. I want to talk to Vorsh as well. He's another person, and Merrick, and STL, and I don't know. I'm happy to talk to anyone except actual kind of fascists. I don't think I'll get much out of talking to them, and possibly some leftists as well. But I'm happy to talk to those people. The baseline level of knowledge the average person should have with econ. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of teaching economics in schools. So, people understand a little bit, and statistics as well. I think it'd be good if people had some baseline literacy of statistics they see reported about the economy, right? What is inflation? What's it really measuring? GDP as well, unemployment. I'd like that. Perhaps some kind of key terms and some basic facts. What's the biggest economy in the world? How big roughly is the global economy? Things like that. But while I want to teach economics in schools, we all have to. I feel like when people advocate for that, they're really, really delusional about how much kids retain and listen at school. You can guarantee that 80% of it is just getting forgotten. And maybe that's all right? Maybe we just go for the 20%. But let's not pretend that, at least in the current education system, we can have a bunch of really economically engaged citizens. Because I don't think, or really economically engaged children, right? Because it's just not going to happen, right? They'll just see it. It's like sex education or something. It's just another class, right? And it's good to have it. It will help, but we shouldn't overstate its benefits, because ultimately at school, most kids just don't really care that much, and they won't remember it. It's just something that they have to do. That's a very, very cynical outlook. I admit that. Happy to have my mind changed on that. I would love for there to be more economic literacy and engagement with economics from children and everyone else. I mean, I will add that I think not just economics, but philosophy, politics, that type of stuff should be taught more. Because it is amazing that you can leave school without even a basic understanding. At least when I went to school, maybe this has changed, but you can leave without a basic understanding of how the British parliamentary system works, or how your country's parliament works and things like that. I feel like that's quite incredible, and there's just not a lot that's relevant to kind of people's lives in there. It's all just science and maths, and the humanities and arts, which are fine, but it's the social sciences are so absent at school, aren't they? Social sciences, philosophy, that type of thing, which is amazing. I really don't know how that's happened. Right, okay, let's continue with this.
While Bayeux burned,
Let's see how long we can stand
pressed
this
his
documentary
advantage.
clip.
Seizing key fortifications,
It's
and
kind of
buying
interesting.
the loyalty of powerful lords, Henry loosened his brother's grip over Normandy. At Tinchebray in 1106,
Yeah, psychosocialism,
brother
you could
would
make
fight
it part of
brother
RE.
for
I agree,
final
that's what I
claim
was
to their
thinking.
father's lands.
Because currently in the UK we do religious studies, and it's kind of intertwined with like citizenship. But I feel like you'd have to expand it to be like two modules, you know, or something to do all the topics justice. Or just call it citizenship, right? And it can have the religious element in it if you want. My mic sounds off. Jeez. I do not know what to do. Does it sound quiet or I'll have to again, I said this earlier if you weren't here, I really don't know what I'm doing. So I don't want to fiddle with it in case I make it worse. It depends on how some people saying it sounds fine. I think it depends how attuned you are to like audio, right? People who know a lot about audio will be like, that sounds weird, but most people will just be like, I don't know. Most people, including me. But I'll have a look at it. I'll make sure it's on the right setting for next time anyway.
His brother, Duke Robert, King Henry besieged the castle at Tinchebray. But the direct assault on the formidable stone castle was failing. Unable to breach the towering walls, the king devised a new plan to capture his brother. Henry would force Robert to defend his lands from attack by razing the villages of Martigny and Fresnes.
Right, so we're... Raise villages to draw out Robert's army. Right, okay. We are going to... be absolute cowards here and just go... Get the scout, get the scout. Get the scout by himself, right. Come on. Go out. I mean... Right. Jesus. I mean, it's pretty brutal, this, isn't it? There's like, what, 3 archers there? 5 archers. Let's actually get the archers on them, because I can't... There's no point in losing spearmen, is there? No, that's the swordsman that I've selected. The archers. Control 0. Oh shit, okay. No, let's get the swordsman in as well. Come on. That was a bit silly. Get the archers back, come on.
To goad Robert out of his stronghold, Henry's men would burn the village to the ground.
Jesus. Right, okay. Do your little... Okay. No, don't attack the villagers. Get the archers, archers. Okay, that was pretty simple, wasn't it? Oh, we've got some treasure. Am I familiar with... there's no kill like overkill here. Yeah, people talking about Herbert Gintis and Sam Bowles. I like some of their stuff. They have some kind of... Right, let's get this gold. Let's get this gold. They have some like old stuff on... They have a good one. We were just talking about school, actually. There's one on how school is basically kind of training for work. It's a really Marxist paper, but using very mainstream methods. And they look at like how basically the skills you learn, the knowledge you get from school is not as relevant as like the kind of discipline and the, you know, getting the 9 to 5 spirit and I've got to burn all 8 of these and you know, waking up on time, listening, doing what you're told, listening to what the boss says or the teacher says, right? So they've got a good paper and I think they've got some good stuff. Herbert Gintis does like agent-based models and stuff, which I'm a bit of a sucker for. Agent-based models, but
the village of Martigny was destroyed, but
yes,
still Robert did not emerge
Sam
to face
Bowles.
Henry outside the castle.
I'm not sure about
Henry would have to raise
some of his stuff on Marx.
Next,
I
he
found it
targeted the village of Fresnes.
quite weird. There was one that was like reinterpreted
buy
marks through
reinforcements
like
from nearby
modern.
allies, if he could procure the gold to pay them.
Right, I have 700 gold. Well, obviously, just get me some knights. Then.
Henry received word that Robert had sent for a fresh army
Good.
to aid in defending his position at the castle.
Jeez,
Henry had
mate,
to
that is a
eliminate
good
these
army.
new forces before they could combine with the garrison at Tincheborough.
Oh, they just come in, but they're not actually. Wait, what?
Henry sent gold to his ally in men.
Oh no, that's my army.
and
That's
received
much
fresh
shitter.
reinforcements.
I mean, it's not that much shitter. Right, okay, come on, get all together. Yeah, so some of Bowles' stuff on Marx is like he's reinterpreting it through kind of like modern neoclassical contract theory, and I was just like, I don't know, it just felt it's weird because he's a very well-read guy and he's pretty smart, right? But it felt like really odd to act like Marx was anything to do with like unobservabilities in contracts, right? Okay, here we go. Archers, archers on archers, and knights go around and get the archers, and swordsmen come around this side. I think this should be fine, actually. I don't think they're going to be up to much. Get round there and squish them. The knights are not up to as much as I thought they'd be. Okay. Help. So yeah, mixed views on Gintis and Bowles. I mean, but they're at the Santa Fe Institute, aren't they? And Bowles was involved in the Cortex, but they're probably pushing things in a good direction, I think, all things considered.
Henry had thwarted his brother's attempt at strengthening the castle's defences.
Right, let's go. Are you a Marxist? No. Not really. Mostly because I'm not 100% sure about the Labour theory of value, which I think... I mean, I do want to do a video on theories of value and value soon, but I think it's a bit useless, or it's kind of wrong in its description of the economy. I kind of accept it as like a moral imperative, right? Like the idea that all value comes from labour can be translated into the idea that basically workers should have power and ownership, which, like, right, if you guys have watched my videos, you know that I advocate worker democracy. So I accept that as an ethic, but as a theory, you know, as a kind of scientific theory, I'm not so sure. I think it's kind of got some pretty serious limitations, right? My army's getting each other's way. Go and get them. So yeah, you know, also I haven't read enough Marx. You know, I've not read Capital cover to cover or anything. I would like to, but you know, it's 3,000 pages long. I feel like nobody acknowledges that enough. You know, so if I haven't read Capital cover to cover, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm a Marxist, because I feel like I don't know Marx well enough to say that. So, you know, I share a lot of his values, but and you know, I mean, some of the stuff on alienation. I think alienation at the workplace and in a capitalist society, as you know, the feeling of disconnect from your work, the feeling of disconnect from other people, that basic idea is absolutely spot on, right? I think a lot of people can see that and agree with it. That alienation is a characteristic of capitalist economies. I may as well just have them all moving together. I know that means the horsemen are moving slow, but they need to... Oh wait, I haven't burned all the buildings. Oh, you fucking idiot. I wonder why nothing had happened. Wait, where is it? Oh, here. So yeah, I'm not exactly a Marxist, but I'm kind of... I have Marxist elements in the way, I think, certainly.
The village of Fresnes was in ruins.
The village of Fresnes was in ruins. Robert is on the field, right?
Provocations had paid off. Robert finally emerged from the castle to face his brother in open battle.
Jeez. That is a big army. Am I going to get some reinforcements? We've got 29. I do not like the look of this matchup here. Capture Duke Robert. His army is definitely bigger than mine. Yeah, I agree, Alberto T. You know, the idea about LTV. It's not the Labour theory of price, right? I think that's a really crucial thing to say in this debate. It's not about exact prices. It shouldn't be able to predict exact prices. What I think it does predict is the theory of the rate of profits of fall, which is very difficult to investigate. How the fuck am I going to win this fight? I actually... Right, do the... Get the archers, get the archers. There's so many archers in this game. No, you... Okay, 2 attack them. I really feel like I'm getting fucked up here. Is this supposed to happen? I mean, it probably isn't, is it? I'm just telling myself that this is canon. How the fuck are you supposed to do that? I feel he's got such a bigger army than you. Great stuff. New objective, rescue your leader. Yeah, okay, I fucked that up pretty badly. That's the first mission I failed. Should have spec'd your troops with gun. Big Smoke. Do you think profiting from ownership, i.e. being a landlord or shareholder, is moral or could be moral? Ultimately... Yeah, no, I don't, because I think land and shareholding is different, right? I think investment and finance is actually important, and I think it should be important to those of us on the left as well. You know, one of the big problems with worker co-ops, right, which I talked about in my recent video, was that often they kind of neglect the finance dimension, and things like granting credit, right, I think can be very, very important, because, you know, you need to marshal the resources in order to make investments, and that, I don't think that goes away with a socialist economy. You have to have some form of finance, right, whether that's state or whether that's private or whether that's, you know, worker owned or a consumer co-op, right, a credit co-op. So that those people who are in charge of investment would make some money from doing that is not a bad thing in my eyes. That doesn't mean justifying the current financial system by any means. Landlord is a bit different. If you're talking about literally owning land in the kind of Henry George sense, then no, it's not moral. I think it's immoral and should be taxed. If you're talking about people who, you know, manage properties and maintain properties, well, there's an argument to be made that they are providing a service, right? But I do, again, as with a lot of things, I do think it should be kind of democratic and, you know, collectively owned in like housing co-ops or something. So, yeah, there's a little bit of scope for it, but land ownership, definitely no. And the current financial system is immoral. Right, so how do I keep my fucking troops? I've got to keep my troops. Like, I don't know what I've got to do with them. I feel like I barely even lost any in the... Maybe I've got to get more gold. Maybe I didn't ransack enough gold, because there was loads, wasn't there? So if I... Okay. That was the bit where I lost, because I only bought 2 loads of reinforcements, and I bought all those knights, which were really expensive, and they actually weren't that great. So perhaps no knights this time.
Henry would force Robert to defend his lands from attack by razing the villages of Martigny and Fresnes.
Right.
An are to hear it.
Yeah?
No, not the 0.
Thine Hestus.
I actually have like a quite a crappy ergonomic keyboard. I mean, it's not crappy for working on. It's like it's obviously very good for your wrists, but for for gaming, it is truly atrocious. Honestly, good to get more footmen. Yeah, you know, so cavalry is inconvenient. Yeah, exactly. So knights were a mistake. I looked at knights. I said, oh, they're the most expensive ones, therefore they're the best, because I'm very silly. And yeah, and I don't obey the law of demand, evidently. So, here we go. Right. Come on, come on, come on.
Robert out of his stronghold. Henry's men would burn the village to the ground.
Oh, jeez. Go and help them. Right. I think Henry can probably take on all those little guys by himself, to be honest. Okay. So the town centre doesn't attack you. Is that right? Or does it in a city but not a village? Maybe. Yeah, so this is all about the reinforcements, isn't it? Right, like where's the gold? Is there any gold like lying around? I should get my scout to have a proper look around. Right. Go on, go and get the gold, Emery. Don't think I see any more. Oh, there we go, there we go. Yeah, so we've got to get more gold. We just didn't reinforce our army enough. Hagabo asking about student loan forgiveness. I would look at Marshall Steinbaum on student loan forgiveness. Honestly, because I'm in the UK and we don't have the same type of loan system, it's not as bad here. It's kind of state run and
a
bit of a weird system actually, but it's like.
But still, Robert did not emerge to face Henry outside the castle. Henry would have to raise the stakes. Next, he targeted the village of Fresnes. Henry received word that Robert had sent for a fresh army to aid in defending his position at the castle.
So yeah, Marshall Steinbaum's quite good on student loan forgiveness. Nathan Tankus, I think, hasn't written anything directly about it, but if you check his Twitter feed,
if he could procure the gold to pay them.
Right, so if I... Okay, right, so we've got to kill these guys. Where are they? We've got to kill these guys first. I'm not going to buy the reinforcements yet because I can get more gold, and I think once you've clicked on it, it disappears. Yeah, UK is like a weird graduate tax. That is absolutely correct. It's such a weird graduate tax. Right. 2... Right. Now up. Come on. Oh, see, the problem here is that I don't actually have any, I don't actually have my reinforcements now, which means I'm actually going to lose immediately rather than... Right, okay, that was a bad strategy. Stretching out and not getting the reinforcements. Right, let's try something else. Jesus Christ. Sometimes you have to experiment with things and sometimes they don't work. Right, we're going to do it next time. Yeah, this was pretty poor. It's too late to run away, Jaren. If you need to, you can run away. I'm not. I'm doing worse than running away. I'm literally just giving up. Right. Okay. We're gonna start again straight away. This is actually harder than I thought. The age campaign. Who else plays Age of Empires 4? Do any of the left streamers, YouTubers play Age of Empires 4? Does Vorsh play it? I mean, he will probably be better at it than me, certainly at this stage.
Yeah. Henry would force Robert to defend his lands from attack by razing the villages of Martigny and Fresnes.
I'm quite persistent, by the way, everyone, so I will do this like 10 times if necessary. I've learned the persistence from playing the Souls games. Right. I mean, you don't need that scout, you just don't need... Why is it... I don't know. I feel like I never really utilise scouts, maybe. But you don't need that scout very much. Why is it just letting me attack? I mean, not that it matters, because I have to kill them anyway, ultimately. Yeah, you're right, use the... yeah. So get him in there, and then...
Goad Robert out of his stronghold. Henry's men would burn the village.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Right, so he gets injured, but it just doesn't matter, does it? Because you ultimately... Come on, archers. Yeah, that was a little bit cleaner than before. Right. Let's go mad. The scout's going to pick up the all of the gold. Oh, there's one over there. I haven't watched Vorsh's debate with Econoboy yet on worker co-ops. I need to watch it. It's yeah. I mean, I know Vorsh watched my video on worker democracy, so I don't know. I mean, they probably both did, but I want to see what they say. I mean, I watch a lot of Econoboy's stuff, but he puts out like so many videos that I actually have trouble keeping up sometimes.
The village of Martigny was
get this
destroyed,
gold.
but still Robert did not emerge to face Henry outside the castle. Henry would have to raise the stakes.
Am I ever going to do
Next,
debate
he
streams?
targeted the village of Fresnes.
It depends what you class as a debate. Like, I'm happy to have a discussion with somebody I disagree with.
Henry
I think
could buy reinforcements from nearby allies.
Yeah.
If he could procure
Right,
the
infantry,
gold to
archers,
pay them.
cavalry.
Henry received word that Robert had sent for a fresh army to aid in defending
So it
his
doesn't
position
actually
at
give
the
you the
castle.
opportunity to have...
Henry had to eliminate these new forces before they could combine with the garrison.
Right, so that's more, isn't it? That's like, in terms of just pure meat in the
Henry
room,
sent
that is
gold
more.
to his ally in Brittany, and in return, a detachment arrived to bolster his numbers.
Right. Right, okay. So that's looking a bit better. So if I get... Where are they? Oh, shit. Here. Right, archers in the back. Go in. Right, so the spearmen stop them. Swordsman, what are you doing? Get the archers on the other archers. Yeah, this was some slightly better strategy from me, I feel. Archers go after that cavalry. I don't know why I'm saying the commands. I'm very immersed. Yeah, the swordsmen take care of the archers pretty quickly, don't they?
By eliminating Robert's incoming
Right, that was a
army,
bit better, right?
Henry had thwarted his brother's attempt at strengthening the castle's defense.
Right, I actually don't care if they run away. I just can't even... Oh, there you go. Injured leader. Right, 9, get in front. Scout, what are you doing? I'm actually just going to send him on a wild goose chase. He's just annoying me. Oh, actually, no, I'll keep him in. Because he's going to get the gold. Henry, get out of the army. Right. One again. Okay. I have so many archers. But the problem is, like, the rest of my army is getting pretty thinned out. Right, that is... Yeah, I seem to be in a better place here. I don't think I get any reinforcements. We'll get the gold anyway. Yeah, your leader has a power. J-Ring. Yeah, the concept of equilibrium in economics, I mean, basically what you've got is a bunch of optimizing agents, right? You've got consumers and producers, each of them kind of maximizing something under a set of constraints. And, yeah, so you've got that.
At the hands of Henry's army,
And then what you have
the
is
village of Fresnes
basically
was
the
in ruins.
actions of the agents have to balance. And so you get these
Henry's
like
provocations
market
had paid
clearing
off.
conditions where demand equals
Robert
supply,
finally
basically, right?
emerged
That's
from
the
castle
basic
to face his
idea.
brother in
Demand
open
equals
battle.
supply, I think, behind a lot of this equilibrium. And the idea of equilibrium is, well, if you think of equilibrium as a situation where something doesn't change, which is how it's usually used in science, right? In an economic equilibrium, nobody has an incentive to change their behavior. So like demand and supply balance, the forces kind of balance, and everybody can just kind of optimize at their current level, given like the prices available to them and other constraints and things like that, right? So that's my definition of equilibrium anyway. Oh shit, right, go. Right, get archers, get them. Okay. Jeez. Right, I think I'm going to lose again. How the fuck do you do this? This is just crazy. Definitely doing something wrong here. Jeez. I don't have a city to produce from. I don't have anything. I don't get any kind of... Oh shit, I can request more aid. Oh, you idiot. I can request more aid. All I had to do was click this fucking button again. Right, okay. I mean, I'm still not going to win, but now at least I know how to. Right, let's go, let's go. I mean, they're obviously going to get fucked up, but... I didn't realise I could request more aid. Okay, that makes it a lot easier. That is why I've been losing. Oh, the People's Republic of Walmart, Wyatt. That's yeah, I have generally a favourable view of it, but in the sense that, so what they're saying is that basically markets. I've got to do this next time. What they're saying is that basically markets are, or capitalism, I should say, is actually not characterized by decentralized markets so much as it's characterized by like large firms which have clear plans and have a lot of power. And, you know, most people's lives when they're working and when they're consuming are actually, you know, they're actually interacting with these big plans by these powerful organizations. It's not just all decentralized market signals. So I buy that, and I think they give some really interesting details about like how Walmart and other firms work. But and then so they talk about that.
Force Robert to defend his lands,
but I feel like
the villages of Martigny.
There are two main issues, right, with the People's Republic of Walmart, and it's a very nuanced book, so I don't want to, you know, mischaracterize it. But as I see it, the two main issues are this: number one, they kind of neglect what I would call like the view on the ground or something like that, right? So that James Scott Seeing Like a State, which I've referenced in my Work of Democracy video, talks about how, you know, it can seem like something's actually being planned and it's being planned from the top down, but actually the plan is rubbish, and everybody who's actually doing the work is actually just you know, improvising and kind of you know, finding ways around the plan almost on a daily basis. And so it's kind of shallow to feel like, oh, the plan's working, when actually, you know, the workers are continually improvising and coming up with ways to make things work. And that's their own, you know, spontaneous improvisation. It's not, don't chase the villagers, swordsman. It's not like the plan itself. So that's one thing where they would like overestimate the importance of the plan, just because they're not like actually talking to workers and seeing on the ground how things are going. So yeah, that's one thing. The other thing is to say, well, okay, given that Walmart does a lot of planning. Oh shit, I missed those archers. Given that Walmart does a lot of planning, is that planning good, right? What aim does it pursue? And it's fairly obvious in Walmart's case it's pursuing profit or returns, right? Like making money somehow. And that, if you had, for example, like a more communitarian model, and you had lots of people's different needs to take care of, then I don't think you'd be able to have a plan as much, because there's not one single aim unifying the plan, like profit, right? There's not one single aim. You're looking at responding to the needs of a community where there may be a lot of different things going. And a big entity that isn't democratically run, that has one big plan for a lot of people, you know, vast quantities of people. Why are they not picking up that gold? Is going to struggle in that scenario. So those are the two things. Yeah, like, I don't think planning works as well as they think it does at Walmart. Just because the outcomes are good, it doesn't mean that the plan itself is being followed. It may be that there's a lot of improvisation by workers and so forth. And second, planning outside of like an organization that has a clear single unifying goal, which I think would be the aim of like socialism, right? Because you'd want things to be more democratic. I think is less possible. Would be less fruitful. Alright. Okay. Oh my god, why do they take so long to... I'm gonna have to bring everyone here to kill this fucking building. Right. Degrowth, yeah, yeah, I had one video that was like kind of about degrowth, and it was one of my earlier videos before my channel grew.
The village of Martigny was destroyed.
But yeah, I think I probably
Still,
would
Robert
talk
did
about
not
it. I mean, I
emerge
have the same
as
opinion I
Henry
had in
outside
that
the
video with degrowth,
Henry
right?
would
It's
have to
like
raise the stakes.
the idea that
He targeted the village of
we
Fen.
don't grow the economy in some respects, as in like we wind down economic activity,
Henry received word that
seems
Robert had
like
sent a
sensible
fresh
to
army
me, right?
to aid in defending his position at the castle.
That seems
Henry
like a
had
good
to
idea
eliminate these
because
forces before
we
they could
are kind
combine
of doing
with the
too much, we're
garrison
consuming
at
too
Kinchbray.
much, you know,
Henry could
working
buy
less, getting rid of
reinforcements from
planned
nearby allies
obsolescence,
if
getting
he
rid
could
of, you
fulfill
know,
the
junk,
goal to pay
you know,
them.
fast fashion, junk food, at least to some degree, you know, all
Henry
of these
sent
types of
gold to
things
his ally
I
in
think are
Britain,
valuable
and
discussions
in
to be
return,
having.
a detachment arrived
But at the
to
same
bolster
time,
his numbers.
any transition to a greener world would involve a lot of upfront investment. And that could increase GDP, right? And so I don't actually think it's the best idea to kind of target GDP itself, because GDP is a very flawed metric, right? This is what confuses me about the degrowth people when they're like, "Oh, you know, we want GDP to go down." It's like, well, why has GDP gone down? It could be, you know, that GDP's gone down because the amount of renewable energy the investment in renewable energy has declined. It could be that GDP has gone down because fossil fuels have declined, you know. It could be that GDP's gone down because there's some weird idiosyncratic like measurement problem that has made it go down, which is what, if you investigate the GDP data, you will generally find that that's the case, right? That there's a lot of weird stuff going on in GDP, and it doesn't necessarily represent anything real. A lot of the changes that we see in GDP are just done in statisticians' offices, and you know, you can have changes in price indexes that result in changes in GDP, and even though nothing's actually truly changed. So all that is to say that degrowth, I think, is a really bad term for something which is kind of good, which is like, let's, you know, get rid of the most wasteful parts of the economy, and shit. And yeah, and you know, scale down economic activity, especially the stuff that isn't serving that much of a social purpose anymore. Why have I only got archers left? What have I done? I was distracted talking about degrowth. Why are you attacking the building? That was... Right, okay, you attack... Right, okay, here we go. Okay, I obviously just need, like, infantry now. This is going to take so long to destroy. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. Where's the gold? Give me the gold. There more gold? I just need the archers to it. There's got to be some more gold around here. Activating your leader power. I did do it that time, but yes, I have been forgetting to do that. I thought it was like a really high cooldown, which is why I wasn't doing it at first, but now I realise it's like actually a really short cooldown. Where are you going? That is... Right, okay, so the infantry gives you archers and infantry. Which is why if you click archers, you end up with loads. Okay. More infantry. Let's just get more infantry. Yeah, so... I've forgotten what I was talking about. I've answered a lot of random questions. Oh, degrowth, yeah. Good stuff, bad name. Yeah, I am a behavioural economist, quite mysterious. Get infantry, yeah. I am a behavioural economist, and I do think it's really, really useful. I mean, there was this study, it was quite controversial, right, on Twitter, where they looked at cash grants and brain scans. They said that it actually, having cash grants is like, actually increases development in the womb. I didn't have a chance to look at it, but they did like actual scans of the babies in the womb. And there was kind of, opinion was quite split on it. I mean, I think everybody, a lot of people on my feed at least, because it's quite left-wing, agreed that, you know, it's a good idea to do that. But I think a lot of people were saying, do we need these studies to prove to us that, you know, helping mothers out is good and good for children? Which is a fair point, but I think something similar goes for behavioural economics as a whole, where it's like, well, did we really need to point out that, like, people aren't rational and, like, you know, the response to policies might be different and more favourable than if we assumed the rational model? And I think the answer is that, unfortunately, we did, because we are in a state of debate where, you know, right-wingers, like, are denying that, for example, poverty has a negative effect on your cognition and your functioning, which is something that's come out of behavioural economics, which I think is really important and valuable to have those studies. I mean, my army's still looking a bit shit. Still. Robert is on the field. Is there any gold? So, yeah. I think those behavioural economic studies, unfortunately, given where we're at, and given that policymakers also, it's not just about the right, but policymakers tend to listen to that type of thing, I think it's kind of necessary, even though you might argue that it shouldn't be. Yes, there's some gold there. What are you doing? What are you all doing? Is this basically just a gold hunt, this thing? Like, if I get enough gold, I'm obviously going to win. Oh, is that what the scout's for? Jesus Christ, it is slowly dawning on me, isn't it, all of this? I'm just like, about 3 years behind. Everybody else has probably figured this out already. Right, get in front. Oh, shit. Okay. Come back, come back. Come on, Robert. Jesus Christ. That is a very small unit of infantry that's coming. Can you... Oh, Jesus. Okay, I am actually getting repelled here. You guys help Henry. Quickly. Are we going to do it? I don't think so. Jesus. We were close at that time. Dear Lord. Putting your archers on hills helps a lot. Interesting. Jesus. All right. I'm psyched to do this. Do you know papers where an actual function of bounded rationality is discussed? I mean, there's bounded rationality in choice. If you look at Barry Schwartz, I think he has a 2002 paper where he discusses like how some people satisfice, right? They're not fully rational. They make do with what they've got, whereas some people maximize. So he looks at that. And in the context of like choosing and how much people choose, right? Because there's the idea that more choice is good from standard economics, but actually a lot of people don't really bother, choosing being fastidious about their choices and making sure they select the absolute best thing in every circumstance. So Barry Schwartz looks at that. It depends what you define as bounded rationality, right? There's a lot of things. There's like a lot of things on present bias, how people just value the here and now. There's a lot of things on like defaults, how people just go with the preset option. Present bias and defaults, the use of defaults, like Richard Thaler talks about that. Those are all bounded rationality, but it depends what, like I said. And you got Herbert Simon's original work on bounded rationality as well, right? I feel like this is just the first part of the mission as well. Like I'm gonna have to invade the fucking town as well. What am I gonna do? Google how people beat this scenario. One more try, and then we might have to resort to that. So funny. Right.
Henry would force Robert to defend his lands from attack by raising the villages.
Right, so what's this guy doing?
And Fren.
Okay. See, when you get more infantry, you don't get more swordsmen, which is quite frustrating. You do shift 1, 2, 3. Do you get them all? Yeah. Good. I mean, realistically, all I'm going to do is charge him in there and get those guys on him. Get 3 on here, 2 on there, 1 on there. Wait, what have I done with like? Okay, no, I've really fucked these selections now. I thought I'd done something clever, but I haven't. Yeah. We are making progress. Like it is getting cleaner, despite me messing up the thing. Right. I reckon just send my scout on a little gold hunting mission. I'm definitely learning a lot. Yeah. Well, you've got to be crap to be good, right? I guess. So, how do I deselect the current... Can somebody tell me how I deselect the current, like, selection hotkeys that I've used? Like what? Like, is there gold down here? I think that's where the reinforcements come from. I am just kind of letting them sit for a bit, so I want to see if I can get more gold. Just override them. But the problem is, if some of them are multiple... Right. So if they're two... Oh, okay, no, that does work. That does work, you're right. You're right. If I just redo them... Right, okay. No, yeah, overriding them did work. Thank you very much.
What Hessa? Don't let that. Redende ut.
If I keep going up and down here, am I gonna find some gold?
The village of Martigny was destroyed, but still Robert did not emerge to face Henry outside the castle.
Don't let that.
Henry would have to raise the stakes.
Each will
Next, he targeted the village of Fresnes.
This is where that army comes from. Oh shit, okay, that means something's happened.
Henry could buy reinforcements from nearby allies if he could procure the gold to pay them.
Right. I reckon just infantry. You go
Henry
just
sent gold to
infantry.
his ally in Brittany, and in return, a detachment arrived to bolster his numbers.
We keep looking for gold. Get the king in front, leading
Henry
the charge,
received word that Robert had sent for a fresh army
and
to aid in
the
defending his
spearmen
position at the
just
castle.
behind him.
Henry had to
There's a
eliminate
bit of
these
gold
new
here,
forces
more infantry.
before they could combine with the garrison at Tinchebray.
Vogliende Hessa. Each will.
Yes, sir.
Right. A Z. 3X.
Forward here. Farendenu. Each yera.
Right, here we go. What are you doing?
By eliminating Robert's incoming army,
Get them.
Henry had thwarted his brother's attempt at strengthening the castle's defences.
Is he actually running away? He's actually running away. Right, okay, here we go. Okay, so we've done that. This is all looking a little bit tidier now. I tried using formations. I've got loads of infantry. Things are looking slightly up. Right, now you get in front again. Come on. What are you doing? Get over there, come on. Back from college only to discover the Labour Party did a transphobia. Oh, for fuck's sake, what have they done now? Get back, don't chase the villagers, it's pointless.
Yes, sir.
Is there gold here?
Each will redone.
Probably not, I should probably bring them back over here. Wait, stop attacking. Just 1 second, right. They're so eager to attack everything around them. They're going to get me into this next fight. Look, stop it. That's V, isn't it? Just to make them stand their ground. Yeah, somebody tell me, what have the Labour Party done now? The problem I found with Age of Empires 2, now this may again just be me being bad, but I had an issue with, oh shit, they're guarding some gold. Can he take them all on? Well, we may as well. I think he can. Henry's doing them all by himself. I mean, the archers won't hurt. Yeah, AOE2, what I found is that it just, it was on such a knife edge. I mean, this was when you were just doing skirmishes, right? I used to do skirmishes on AOE2. And it was like, basically you'd won or lost in the first 5 minutes. And then you just watch it play out. And you're like, well, because I didn't get the boar within like 0.1 seconds of when I should have, I'm now like 5 minutes behind the enemy. And I'm just going to get absolutely rolled because they've got like hundreds of... Right, this is a bigger army, isn't it? Right, yeah. Just going to get like hundreds of, you know, elite units coming into my village, killing me. Or the other way around, where you do well in AOE2, and then you just know that you're going to win. And I don't know, it just felt like it was all settled and it was just all like playing out. But I suppose it depends like what level you're playing it at, right? Like I didn't, you know, I wasn't playing it at a high level. I'm just talking about like skirmishes against AI. I'm not saying I didn't like the game, by the way. I think it's really fun. I'd play it again, but just like a little bit on a knife edge. I played Age of Mythology quite a lot, which I think is really good. It's quite a lot like Age of Empires, but it's like it's a bit more interesting. There's more units and a bit more strategy, I think. I feel like it's the neglected one of the Age games. Like nobody really plays it anymore. But oh, I still haven't destroyed. Right, okay. So having archers on hills helps, does it? Right. So what do you reckon? Do you reckon you've got... Oh shit, we didn't quite kill it again. Oops. Go looking for gold somewhere.
At the hands of Henry's army, the village of Fresnes was in ruins. Henry's provocations had paid off. Robert finally
thing is,
emerged
that's
from the
actually
castle
not...
to face his brother in
Maybe we
open
should go
battle.
here. And the archers up here. Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it? This is a much healthier army. Age of Mythology crashed all the time. That's actually, yeah, you're right. It does crash a bit. Yeah, you are absolutely right there. Maybe that's why. Yeah, they didn't remaster it very well. That's probably the reason. So these archers on this hill should be able to do bits, right? He's coming. He's coming. He's definitely coming. Come on. I mean, these guys are obviously too far behind. Daniel, just some of you get there. For God's sake, they just don't stay on the hill. Right, okay. Kind of fucking this. I think we probably should win this though this time, right? Come on, help your buddies out. Jeez. It's still fucking tough. Oh, you literally just have to kill him as well. Oh no, you do have to eliminate his army. You do have to eliminate his army. But they're scattered now, they've lost morale. The leader's gone. Do really economists ignore other fields like sociology? In a word, yes. Actually, this is what my latest video is about. There's really poor citation patterns. Economists just don't cite sociologists.
King Henry's tactic of luring Robert into the open.
But it does happen the other way around.
Henry captured his brother, and Normandy was his.
There you go. It only took 5 tries. Right. What is the time? Yeah, apparently all the townsfolk are happy that I liberated them. I feel like there might have been some more mixed feelings. I'm not sure why I'm the good guy in this, but then I don't know anything about English history. That was quite cool, actually. It was. Yeah, it did require some figuring out like what you're supposed to do, and I got better at the game. No, this is quite cool. I want to continue this campaign. I am. I think. Yeah, this was. Do they cite? Sorry, so I'm in like I feel like I'm in like 2 or 3 conversations at once on this stream. I don't know how easy it is to follow. Do they cite psychologists? Well, I mean, we were talking about behavioral economics before, right? And I think economists engage with psychology a bit more than they used to. How often they cite them, I'm not 100% sure, but I still think economics is relatively insular, right? Like they don't really cite other social scientists that much. Yeah, multidisciplinarity is so important. I mean, my favorite economic sociologist is Mark Granovetter. I mean, he's really famous, right? He's a famous sociologist, but he did The Strength of Weak Ties, and that was like really pioneering article about like network connections, and it just basically spawned almost a field of sociology. But economists just don't know it at all, and it really makes my blood boil because it's so. I mean, it's economic sociology, right? It's so relevant, but because it's not like, you know, optimizing agents and equilibrium, it's not published in an economics journal. It's just terrible, like the lack of interdisciplinarity from the economics profession. Yeah, it's and then you know that people are going to end up kind of reinventing these ideas without citing them from sociology. I mean, this is one of the things that happens, right? You get, and it does. It's not just economists, to be fair, but you get like people just reinventing the same ideas again and again, and they're not aware of the literature that's in the other fields, and you just get this kind of slowing of intellectual progress, which I think is just definitely a net negative in terms of like the pursuit of knowledge. Do I think Homo economicus is actually real? In the sense, real in what sense? In the sense of like, does it exist in the real world, or in the sense of, do economists actually use it? Because the answer to one is no, and the answer to the other is yes. Economists do use it, but I don't think anybody could, the model of economic behavior is so demanding that I think no real person could kind of prescribe to it. I mean, you might be able to get some loose stylized predictions out of the model, but I don't think you should ever think it's real in any sense of the word. Okay. Right, I'm gonna continue for a bit.
William the Conqueror's sons had resolved
Let's
their
see what
long
happened
feud
in
over Normandy,
1166.
with King Henry resting possession away from his brother. But the French king Louis VI would not accept Henry's heir as the future Duke of Normandy. Henry's fragile power would face its first test.
Jesus.
An invasion by the French king.
There were a lot of battles around these times, weren't there? Stephen Pinker was right. After playing Age of Empires 4, I can confirm that Stephen Pinker was right, and medieval times were much worse than now. And we're all blessed to live in a low violence era.
In the disputed countryside between Normandy and France, a smouldering farmstead gave away the beginnings of a French invasion. At the head of the vast army stood King Louis of France himself. An English scout hastily rode to inform King Henry of England, who was still en route to defend his borders. Hearing of the threat, villagers and guards fled their English-held towns and retreated to the stronghold of Fleury.
No, I mean, I do think I haven't looked that much into Pinker's stuff on violence. Oh my dear lord, right, okay, I actually have bases now. Slightly
Above all,
overwhelmed.
the English forces in Normandy had been commanded to hold the town of Fleury and await King Henry's arrival.
Yes, sir. Eat your
Is this Fleury? So am I allowing them to destroy all my little villages? Hold Fleury. So they are literally just going to go through, like, absolutely ravaging this countryside. I guess... Am I just allowing that to happen? No. No, I'm not. I need villagers. We always need villagers. The market. I do not have... But that, I mean, that is obscene.
As
That
the
is
village
obscene.
of Cressenville fell, all English hopes lay in holding Fleury for the king's arrival.
Surely I should just get these guys back. Is that what they're doing anyway? I do feel like my forces are gathering.
Yes, sir. West
Right.
Duhala.
Is there a mill? Where's the fucking mill?
West Duhala. Cheerless.
Um,
Way on your Sammy Endy. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
That shoelace
Build the
may
mill.
use some brand.
I think we're going to need some food.
Each brew. And you work.
Oh, you're right. You might as well do the fucking sheep. Right. Hunted meat. Alright, okay. So... We are gradually amassing an army. But they are... What the fuck is going on?
Yes, sir.
I'm building some stuff, but like... Their army's like fucking five... Right, get them. 5 times bigger than mine.
Each a folly.
Is that a villager? What are you doing in there? Right, okay. Come on, more food, more food.
And you work, Yaru to work.
Why are they all over there? Why are there so many villagers? I think they got trapped.
Yaru to work.
Oh shit. Have I not got anybody doing any fucking wood? Alright, okay.
The town of Granville succumbed to the French, and the English were pushed back towards Fleury.
Yeah, I get what's happening, I get what's happening. Okay. Need more villagers again. archer, swordsman.
Yes, sir. Where's the
Need loads of wood.
Yes.
Building archers.
On move.
Get back in, get back in. Jeez. Lots of questions. Has Minsky been a big influence for you? Yes, Hyman Minsky was amazing. The financial instability hypothesis was just like so prescient, given 2008 especially. So yeah, he was a big influence. I think Minsky might have been one of the first times where I was like, oh shit, like heterodox, like non-mainstream economics is... Oh, that's not a... Oh, you twat. Right, lumber camp. Okay, here they come. Right. One of the first times where I was just like, oh, heterodox economists actually have something to say. You know, like that financial instability hypothesis was so accurate, I think, in its description of the 2008 crisis. I feel like I have messed this up quite badly.
On your work,
Which is kind of, I guess, what you'd expect. But I don't see how I can amass an army that big. That is like speed building, right? How do I get to, like, barracks? The shortcut for barracks, or like... I mean, we weren't far off pinning them out, actually. Looking at it. We weren't that far off. But I think I'm fucked. I mean, these guys are just gonna... They're literally just lambs to the slaughter.
At last, King Henry and his forces made
Oh wait, he's here.
arrival at
He's here.
Derry.
Henry's here. Come on, come on. Where's the knights? Jesus Christ. Get in, get in. This is actually pretty epic. I'm enjoying this. Fucking hell. Yeah, so Hyman Minsky is great. In general, you're supposed to always build workers, yep. Yep, that is true.
Knowing that King Louis himself was on the field, Henry saw his chance to put England's claim to Normandy beyond doubt.
Capture Grainville. Okay, here we go.
yes, sir. West through Harlot. Each a worker.
Right, yeah, there were loads of other questions that I really wanted to answer, but then stuff kind of kicked off. Do I want to, do I want to capture Grainville, or do I want to... Dear Lord. Right, okay, so I'm gonna have to do some serious shit here.
Yes, sir. Where's the water? Each a worker. What sort of face, eh? That's
What surface, eh?
Yeah, let's upgrade the villagers as well.
On your worker. Each timbra theos.
Each a broke that.
And can we upgrade the archers? Oh, I need to go into the castle age.
Area Werta.
1200 food, 600 gold.
Yes, sir. Where's the water?
That's not worth attending to, is it? Maybe I should expand outward into the villages anyway, because I do have, like... Get more on gold.
Obeisance is on. Each live to hear it.
Get the knights going.
Straboren Jerwa. Straboren.
Garu uppe. Mid mig. An are to hear it. Ik read the folk.
Part mig. Gongende on. Then Hester. Each a willer.
Tenitas, stand in the yard.
Lots of convoluted defensive farms. What? So the farms are just like in their way. Is that the way you did it? And then you just upgraded to Huskarus. Oh yeah, are you familiar with Robert Sapolsky and Eleanor Ostrom? Yes. That's like you've just named two of my... Oh, not building workers. I'm not building workers, you idiot.
Determined to oust the English from Normandy, began sending attack parties to harass King Henry and his forces.
They like, yeah, Robert Sapolsky and Eleanor Ostrom, like two of my favourite people. Honestly, Robert Sapolsky's Behave, the book, is such a great introduction to modern biology. You know, in a way that's not like... Not the kind of weird race realist way, but like actually what biologists think. Oh shit! Get back, get back, get back. Get back, and now forward. Okay, you go here.
Yaru to work. Each timber.
And your work, eh? Each timber thanks.
Come on, archers, don't. Yeah. So, and then Eleanor Ostrom. I mean, I don't. It's difficult for me to say, but I think she might just be my favourite economist of all time. To be honest with you, like her research was so like pioneering and interdisciplinary. So, for those of you who don't know, she was a political scientist by training, but she engaged in what I would basically describe as like anthropological work, going out into communities and just investigating like how communities manage resources. So she was kind of looking at like the tragedy of the commons, the idea that resources will be like overused by populations if they're not like privatized. Or at least that's the way it was interpreted before her work. She just showed that, like, no, communities, including, like, indigenous communities especially, which are what she studied, they can communally manage resources. And so it's kind of, I mean, there's that book, Eleanor Ostrom's Rules for Radicals, which kind of reinterprets her as, like, something of a radical. Like, because she was very communitarian, right? So it's like... It's what I think of as, like, actually communism, you know? Not, like, these endless, fruitless discussions over the USSR and stuff, like actual communal organisation that, you know, people can manage. And, you know, rules that people can create for managing resources that are tailored to their needs, that kind of thing. So that is just absolutely invaluable, I think, for anyone who wants like a kind of communitarian type organisation. I mean, it should be said that she wasn't, you know, she wasn't a kind of leftist, really. She was like quite, I guess you could call her pragmatic or something along those lines. She was, you know, she was just kind of interested in how the world works, and she was something of a centrist, maybe. She would, but, oh, hello. So yeah, like Robert Sapolsky and Eleanor Ostrom, both of them, very familiar with them, they're great. Oh my good lord. Does anyone know how to locate blacksmith? Like if I've got one. Gold. Increased gold gathering rate. Right, we've seen them off. Right, get their mines as well.
King Henry's men struck at the French forces and recaptured the town.
Ooh, lots of gold. Okay, great, great, great. Right.
Nu, Tulkas. Ut readeth nu, Tulkas. I'll read.
What does they say?
Right, actually, Very fun stream so far on the economics. Thank you very much. It's nice to hear that. I really don't know what makes a stream like good or bad. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just playing this game at a fairly low level and saying some random off-the-cuff shit about economics. But I'm glad that you're enjoying it anyway. Right, come on. Right, more archers. We just want more archers. That's what we want. That's what everybody. Okay, now we can finally upgrade our troops. Right. King Louis is counter-attacking. Right. Well, I know that. Well, I think we just stay put for now, right? What are we on population? We're all right for population, aren't we? We need more gold. More gold. All the gold. Don't actually need more wood, so... blacksmith. I might have already had a blacksmith. But, get those guys on gold. We need gold now, I think. We're at that stage where gold kind of takes over, doesn't it? And you're just like... suddenly out of gold. It's one of the things I was very good at on like the other age games I've played is actually managing the economy, unironically. But I've not quite got the hang of it here. Oh shit, I shouldn't have those fucking villages. What are they doing? The mouse is being a bit like... What are you doing? Get out. And I think we are going to do that. That was a very sloppy fight. Very sloppy indeed. Right. Alright, worker. Go and... Is there no mine? No. Wait. What the fuck's going on here? Right. I reckon we want to stand at... Ally under attack? Or some... Oh, for God's sake. Right. I hate it when they do that. That is so annoying. Send the longbows against the spearmen. Yeah. Right, okay, so he's just doing that thing where he gets a load of stupid little troops by themselves to come and pester my tiny little village. But I'm not going to let it get to me. Maybe let's just build some more workers as well. I think, basically... I keep catching these workers, like... And another one. Right. Okay, I need to amass a better army now. Okay. I actually just have loads of gold, which I'm not using. Wait, what? How much are archers? See, they're not... Right, okay, there we go. Bit more food. What's going on? Where am I getting attacked? Oh my god. Henry himself is going to... If all the villagers just turn on him, will they kill him? They are pretty crap, aren't they, those villagers? I think we need to... What we need to do is probably to make a tower here. So... Where are the towers? Not enough resources. Oh, you need stone. Oh, shit. Right, okay. We're building more villages here then. Wait, where's... I do not know how the pro players keep up with this many things. I have so much difficulty multitasking with this. When I've got like 2 bases going. Are they gonna... Okay.
See fate a worker.
Do a bit more farming.
It killed the see fate a worker. It killed Happy that he's building a knob.
Probably get a few more villagers. Get them to come up here. Get him up here. Is climate change being... Build the wall, build the wall. Is climate change being taken seriously in economics? It's difficult. I mean, when you award the 2018 Nobel Prize in Economics to somebody who is just... who has models that basically downplay climate change, you know, regardless of what Nordhaus says himself, who's who I'm talking about, by the way. When you do that, you just signal that you're not taking climate change seriously, because they just like in his model building, having a like a 4 degrees centigrade rise in temperature is just like results in, you know, a 4% decline in GDP or something like that. You know what I mean? And there's not that much space for like catastrophe, which is right. These all look like things I should be getting. So it's just ridiculous, really, to be honest with you. There are people like Martin Weitzman who died. He had the dismal theorem, which took climate change a bit more seriously, I think. But okay, oh shit. Okay, all right, go on, go. But yeah, I would say that climate change isn't as central as it could be to the frameworks in economics, and it's not, you know, some of the models they do use where I don't think they really take climate change seriously enough, like, because you've got, you know, you've got this idea of like substitutability, right, where you can always kind of find an alternative, and you can always, you know, if there's damage to the environment, it will be compensated by other things, like, you know, investment in other areas or new technologies, and people will find new there we go, they got him. People will find new fuels, sources of fuel and stuff, and yeah, it's all a little bit complacent, I think, but there's some good stuff out there. It's just not necessarily the stuff that you stuff that you'd see if you did a climate economics course, or if you looked at the Nobel Prize, right, is not like the best we can do as economists, I don't think. I think it feeds into ideas of discipline as just being a load of crap, basically. What is going on? Right. Crossbowmen. Build more houses. Yeah, but I know I can't, but I can queue them. So this is just literally right. Okay, right, let's just go, let's go. I mean, that is just a distraction, isn't it? But those guys, right. Right, get the horsemen on 1, archers on 2, spearmen on 3, he's on swordsman on 4, right. Have we got enough for a tower? All we need to do is build towers where these little guys are annoying us. Then we will literally just be fine. Thing is, I should have like continual stream of like stuff going on here, really. I should be keeping more up to date with that. Oh, we want to go in here, don't we? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think one of the central issues which, like, with technology is just that it often seems to, like, increase emissions. Maybe this is a kind of under-capitalism thing, right? But technology just seems to increase emissions more than it saves them. It's like, if you take streaming, right? So streaming, in a way, you might expect it to be less costly than, like, the alternative, which would be, like, you know, driving to go to see something, you know, having to actually physically go there. You would think of that as being more resource intensive, but then streaming's responsible for so much.
Only one more obstacle: King Louis and his army.
For so much. No, go and get them. Go and get them. Get back, get back.
Two kings would settle their claim to Normandy.
So, streaming's responsible for so many emissions. I say that as I'm streaming, like, literally. But I think the issue is, right, you've got this, what they call Jevons paradox, right, which is like, when you improve the technology for something, the efficiency of it, people don't use the same amount, but, like, doing it more efficiently, which is what you might want, right, from an environmental perspective. What people do is they just use it more. So you see this with streaming, right, in general, like streaming is more efficient than ever, I'm sure, but there's just more content. There's so much more content, you know, between YouTube, Netflix, Twitch, you know, and all the other platforms. You just outposts, right? Yes, and you guys can build this outpost. Yeah, like, you just end up with. I mean, they've just done my mill. That is so annoying. Right, okay. I'm actually a bit scared of putting these guys there, because... No. Go back, go back, go back. Jeez. No. Come over. Come across, come across. Come across. Oh, that is absolute chaos. Is that a healer? That is very cool. I now have a healer. I'm very happy with that. Oh, they have all stopped doing gold. They probably don't need to do gold anymore. I've got quite a lot of gold. Yeah, so, like, I think it is a bit of an under-capitalism thing, really, isn't it? Like, or, I don't know, maybe you can see, like, there being a culture or a set of policies that where we still have capitalism, but people don't, like, always want to ramp up the amount of content and the amount that we use things. Maybe. But, you know. Whoa, that's not right. Outpost. Can we upgrade this one? Yes. Obviously you're upgrading that. Yeah. I am basically at capacity now. Monk. Jeez, fucking hell. So yeah, that's the problem with technology. It's not really the technology in itself, right? It's like how it's used. It's like when people talk about the rise of the robots, and I'm like, well, you know, regardless, I don't really know much about AI, but suppose it comes to pass, it's like, it's a distribution issue, isn't it, right? It's how we manage it. Having things produced really effectively for free labour by, you know, entities that don't have kind of sentience and therefore don't suffer doing grueling labour in the same way that humans or even animals do, is a good thing on its surface. But then if you end up with one person owning all the robots and nobody else being able to get a look in, then, you know, it's obviously going to be a bad thing. Alright. Just up. What are these things? I want them all. I want them all. Can I build more houses? Oh, I can build more houses. Jesus. Right, okay. Alright, why? They've been going all that way. What are they doing? Right, build more houses.
He'll build that for they.
Right.
Nu,
Okay.
Tulkes, here, Hestes. Yefame, that will moon for they off. Look at you, be ready. Get to the ready for
Might just add him to the... Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Hestes.
Jonas, you're it done.
Outstanding, Sperryman.
Can I defeat his army? That's quite a big army, isn't it, over there? I don't know. The thing is, if I waste my army, then it will be a long time to rebuild it. We've got all these upgrades. We've got houses coming. Oh no! Oh, you're at a maximum of 200, aren't you? That was pointless, me building those houses. Okay. Alright, fine.
Arita. Worker. God Swinkera.
What are we going to do with you, eh? Alright.
2000.
See, this is the stage where you end up having to actually kill villagers, right? Isn't it? Because
Ready, crossbow.
this monk needs to stay at the back.
It is Sitha for actors.
I am going to destroy the stables because this may be where he's creating all his annoying little dudes who just come and... Great stuff. Right. Get in front of them. King in front. Archers. Can you attack from here? From this little hill? So if my archers kind of spread out, I think these guys spread out as well, right? Is that alright? Is that the way to do it?
Men of armies are needed.
Look at you, read it new, Tulkes.
Right, this is the big moment. I don't like my archers spread out, I've decided. Whoa. Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus. King Louis dies with his army like kind of... Jesus Christ, so he's got absolutely fucking decimated. I don't... Injured leader. Interesting. I think... Can I do any more... It shouldn't be too long to recharge the army, actually, to be honest. I reckon. Need more spearmen. He's got loads of horsemen, hasn't he? Speaking of which, yeah, you can all go. Incendiary arrows. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what we need. I have so many men just standing around like lemons. Look at them. Right, you just all pointlessly built houses. Now we're going to kill you.
What needed working?
Every charn and 10 dead.
Yeah. Good. Need more troops. That's all that matters. I can actually probably afford to make knights instead of horses. Yeah, in fact I can. I think knights are just better, right? Knights. Countered by spearmen. Or maybe it's not that simple. No, they are. They are better. Because they're only countered by spearmen and crossbowmen, whereas normal cavalry are countered by all melee units, so... I actually need to change the waypoint so that that's like more over there. That everything is just automatically going to the scene of battle. Where's my blacksmith? Oh, see, I haven't done this as well. I mean, this is just... Wait, I don't need that siege unit attack. No, it's literally just that. Increase the melee attack, fitted level work. That's all I need. I think the crossbowmen, because it said they counter the knights. I'll get some of these crossbowmen as well. Yeah, knights are more expensive, but my resources are through the roof, so I think like it's just worth getting them because I can. But yeah, loads of spearmen and crossbowmen as well. Mate, this has got to be a big army. I think if it's anything like the others, yeah, he'll get like a reinforcement. Right, so basically, it's the same army every time you attack it. My leader is injured. That's actually shit. That's quite annoying. I might have to send some people around. I'll send the horsemen round to heal him. Yeah. Right, you are. Right, you. What are they doing? They're running all the way to that mill. That is so pointless. Right, all of you. Hand in what you've got, and then you're gonna make some stables, barracks, and archery ranges. They're like Amish, these people are speaking like Amish people. Knights take a while to make as well, don't they? Even, yeah, they do take a while. What's the blacksmith saying? What are we going to upgrade? Yeah, more upgrades. High potential plateau. Thanks, Chase Deluxe. That's good. Yeah, somebody gave me that tip before, and then I just ooh. Men at arms. Oh, what the fuck? Veteran spearman. Mate, well, obviously I just need to have that then. Yeah, I just didn't know that that building could make units, so... Mangonels. What are mangonels? Are they in here? Ah, siege. Oh, they're like catapults. Not for this mission, but yeah. Man, I love a catapult. Right, yeah, you don't want 100 archers shooting arrows at one unit. Right, we are near capacity now. They've all... Okay, well... I'm going to delete them all again. Okay, we are getting there. We are getting there. It's annoying we don't have the leader, but we will make do. Oh, there's a bit of gold there. Doesn't really matter, does it? You can go and get it if you want. Go on then. Oh god, my posture's marginally better than it was last time I played this, but it's my neck is still hurting. Right, let's see off this this army. feel like actually getting them from here is just pointless. They're just so far away. Okay, we're almost ready. We've got the knights to go in first, I think. So if you press A, then you just walk over unlearning economics. Yeah, engages in villager genocide. That is definitely what's happening.
This is an
What needeth be undone?
Okay, she's got the gold. She's got the gold. She's going back. Thank you. Alright, alright. That looks like everything. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Geez, 5. I have a lot of different unit types here, which is maybe a tad annoying. Oh, they haven't all arrived yet. 3. Stand in a line, spearman. Crossbowman. And stand. Hit 1 wedge formation, 2 wedge formation. You can stand in the line as well, archers. Crossbowmen, spread out. It's a completely arbitrary command, but I want to try out the spreading out one, see what happens. Oh, mate, what are you? A man at arms? Literally like my only man at arms. Oh. Are they? What are they doing? Come on. You. Why are they not attacking King Louis? Oh, I did it. Yeah, that was a much better attack.
Far from home, but rallied by their king, the English army forced a French surrender and put King Louis and his knights to flight. With the impromptu battle ending in resounding victory for the English, King Henry had secured his ancestral lands under the English crown.
Yes. Excellent. I'm well into this game now. I think it's actually a well good game. But I am going to leave it there because I need to eat my dinner. I have made myself a moussaka, which I'm quite excited about. Amazing gaming. Absolutely amazing gaming. Top-notch gaming. I'm going to be in the Age of Empires tournaments before too long. Have I heard of the concept of peak oil? Yeah, I have. The idea that oil production is going to peak, right? I think it does seem to me that this is an area where, you know, the more optimistic people like Steven Pinker or maybe right-wingers or neoliberals would tend to be right, in the sense that peak oil, I think, is going to be reached a long time from now. It does seem that we keep finding new sources, And peak oil doesn't really worry me because I do think that we will shift to alternatives. Now, all of what I've just said has a massive caveat, which is that it's bad to extract oil and we should stop doing it immediately. So, you know, regardless of peak oil, regardless of whether or when you think oil is going to peak, like, we shouldn't allow it to peak. We should just be stopping using it as far as is possible. So I think peak oil is a bit of a distraction. I mean, I'd like to know more about it, right? But ultimately, like, fossil fuels are bad, right? So I don't want to reach the peak, if we ever do. It's just, by then it'll be too late, because I don't think it'll be for a while. Yeah, the campaign's great fun, isn't it? Yaran. It's really good. And I'm learning a little bit about history as well, so there you go. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for coming along. There were loads of you this time. And I think we were peaking at like close, about 150 or something. Now it's still at around 100. Yeah, it's great. And, I'm going to try and do it maybe every Tuesday. That's excluding next week because I'm actually away. But yeah, I think every Tuesday at this time seems like a pretty good time to do it to start with. And then, if I can make time to do other streams or surprise streams, I'll do it. And I'm getting used to gaming and talking at the same time, but I think Age is actually, the Age games and strategy games are actually, they're not the best talking games. They're very attention grabbing. I think something that's like a bit more casual. I mean, I want to play Elden Ring on this as well. Might be a bit easier to talk through a lot of that. But I want to speak to people as well, and we'll see how it goes. But have a fantastic day or evening, or sleep, or whatever it is, wherever you are. And